Welcome to another episode of Velocity Chaos!
Coming to you at the speed of sound, we are on the air at the Hexapod Sound House in Cleveland, Ohio. This is the Velocity Chaos podcast. My name is Nick, and I am joined by my favorite co-host, Luke.
That's me. Hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us here. We are joined by our tried, trusty, true DJ Slapshot.
Hey. What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me out this week. And we got a great intern over here, Zac.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us here again. Welcome back. And Nick, what do we got on the docket today?
That is one eager intern over there. I love it. On the show docket today, we are going to do some idol worship. We're going to do a new segment called Deep Dive, which I am looking forward to jumping in with you on. And we're going to do a segment, Don't Quote Me on This, where we talk about a great quote from another human being. Here at the Velocity Chaos podcast, we explore the highest heights of human knowledge and the lowest depths of crude humor. Our mission is to tickle that pink thing between your ears, poke that frontal lobe, or sometimes just smash the laugh box. So hop in and buckle up for an infotainment ride across the airwaves.
And before we get into that, just a reminder to follow us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod and on Facebook. Also, drop us some stars on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Some love on Spotify. Toss us a sub on the YouTube where you're seeing us now. If you're watching us, or if you're just listening, whatever. But not whatever, but thank you for your support. As always, we love you. Bye. For now.
So, opening up the show, we're going to the temple. We're going to throw up some prayers. Here at Idol Worship, we look at the people we look up to the most, and we talk about why. So this week, I want to talk about the one and only Jason Bateman.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, figured. No, come on. A lot of you out there, I'm sure, are familiar with him. He is an actor, a comedian, a director, a producer now. All of it. He's been in the business for a long time. Born in 1969, this 53-year-old performer, director, producer hails from Rye, New York. I have no idea where that is. It's probably upstate.
It's very bready.
A lot of carbs. A lot of people come, carbo-loaded, pre-carbo-loaded. He moved to SoCal as a kid with his parents. He was like 4 years old and started working in commercials at a young age, doing like cereal commercials. And then he started doing TV shows and small movies and like TV movies. And you can kind of get it. He kind of almost got Macaulay Culkin. Like
He's better than that.
Yeah, but he there's this line in some of his history where he just is like, at the age of 20, he dissolved his business relationship with his dad. It's like, yeah, we know what that really means.
That's very mature.
He stopped sending him checks.
Yeah.
But he then he merged as straight-laced Michael Bluth in Arrested Development. That was kind of the show that really broke him open. But he had been working in a lot of the 90s TV show stuff. And he did Teen Wolf 2, T-O-O, as the wolf.
It wasn't Michael J. Fox?
It wasn't Michael J. Fox. It was after Michael J. Fox. He's since accelerated his career, landing lead roles in successful movies like The Switch, Horrible Bosses, Identity Thief, and Game Night. While getting involved in the creative process, he directed a film he starred in called Bad Words, which is about like a con man who is essentially competing in a spelling bee with like 8th graders. And he directed some episodes and helped produce the show on Netflix Ozark, which you've heard me rave about before and talk about in a recommendation station. He's set to help recreate the film version of Clue. And this is fun for all of us here at the Velocity Chaos podcast. He runs his own podcast with Will Arnett and Sean Hayes called Smart Less. They've won a lot more awards than we have.
We're just getting started, getting our feet under us.
But they are an award-winning podcast. They're comedy podcast, talk about life. They've done they did a tour last year, I think, late last year, or maybe
Podcast tour. That's next level.
where they do the show live for a theater audience.
That's cool.
Maybe
one day we could do that.
Hopefully we could do that. We may do it soon.
Get
Who
a tour,
knows?
Velocity Chaos tour bus.
Yeah,
VC
around
tour bus.
we could do it on that side of the room.
Yeah, we can migrate. We can fly on over there. I learned I've been a fan of his for a while. I've watched a lot of Arrested Development recently, and I really like him in that. I really like him in Ozark because it's a much more serious turn. But there's a great Vanity Fair interview that he did. It's a video on their YouTube channel. We'll post it in the links down below. And he looked at everything, and I was really upset because they left out this scene that he has in Smokin' Aces, and everyone should go watch it. Smokin' Aces, the movie. It's wild. It's Ryan Reynolds, Ben Affleck, early first Chris Pine movie. Not even kidding you. It's the first Chris Pine movie. And he's billed pretty low down on the totem pole.
Wow.
And there's this scene that Jason Bateman has where he plays this guy what was his name? Shoot, I was on a roll there. But
You were rolling. Yeah.
something it's something Reggie. But anyway, he is this strung out dude who's essentially giving Ben Affleck the money to go find Jeremy Piven. I know you like Jeremy Piven. You're big.
I love him.
Zach's a big Jeremy Piven guy. And he just steals the entire scene, but there's this one shot where he's just rolling and he breaks Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck has to turn away from him in the wide shot because Jason Bateman's just lighting it up. Just deadpan delivery of these most absurd things. And
Rupert Reed.
Rupert Reed?
According to this.
So anyway, you gotta go check out that scene because it is funny. He kind of steals that movie a little bit there in that scene.
Question though.
Yeah.
So in Switch and Identity Thief, did he do that with Jerry O'Connell?
What break? What break Jerry O'Connell? So
because Jason Bateman and Jerry O'Connell look very similar.
Switch. He did it with Jennifer Aniston.
I thought they played the same person.
And the
just
Identity
switched.
Thief he did it with Melissa McCarthy. So
I got it.
I got it, but way off.
Intern gets it.
Intern gets it. So yeah. So have you seen anything? Anybody seen anything with? Jason
Wasn't
Bateman?
he in Horrible Bosses?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, Horrible Bosses. Arrested Development, that was good.
Oh, Kangaroo Jack.
Was he in?
No. That
Wait,
was
what?
He was the kangaroo.
He's played. He was doing the. There's that one Thunder Force. Olivia. Octavia Spencer, and Melissa McCarthy, and he plays.
And he was the crab
He's the
hands guy.
crab. Yeah, he was the
Or lobster, or
the
whatever.
claw or something like that. And he's hilarious because the thing that I've learned about Jason Bateman, and I wanted to get into why I like him, why he's one of my idols.
Tell me.
And it's the way he works. And he will go do bit roles now that he's getting lead roles. He will still go do bit roles with people he likes.
Mm-hmm.
Smokin' Aces he was in a movie with Ben Affleck right before that, I believe, which was about flavor extracts. It's called Extract. So I think from his relationship that he had with Ben there, Ben's come out and do Smokin' Aces. He's like, okay, cool.
That's the dream. Just
Ripped Reed was his name in Smokin' Aces. I finally found it.
Oh.
Ripped Reed. You can find
it
it.
said
on
Rupert
YouTube.
Reed over here.
Well, that's his first name, but
okay.
his crime name is Ripped Reed.
Is that confirmed on IMDb?
Yeah. He's completely strung out. But anyway, he's one of my idols for 3 major reasons. His philosophy on working with people and his attempt to navigate a competitive business by being a good collaborator is something I think we can all learn a lesson from. If you look at his interviews, he always talks a lot about the people that he's met and how grateful he is for the people along the way who have helped him, who have put him on good sets or put him in movies that were funny. And for people who gave him breaks on Arrested Development, when he got the tip for that audition from an old agent of his. So he must have had a good enough relationship with the guy for him to be like, hey, Jason, this sounds like a fit for you. And he went out and he auditioned because he read it and really liked it. And his current agent was saying, "Oh, you don't want to take this. There's no lights. It's no stage. It's all handheld. Like you're trying to do something new with TV." But Jason was like, "It's funny. It's really funny." So he went, and the producer knew that he had another audition the next day. And he walked out with him, which rarely happens because when a producer follows like a actor out of the audition, he said, "Hey, you have an audition tomorrow?" "Yeah." "Well, you should not go to that." And Jason Bateman just kind of went, "Do I have the job? Is that why I shouldn't go?" So anyway, it's just, he was illustrating the point that people who you're good to and have good relationships with can turn into leads that make your career, that break your career.
Don't burn your bridges.
Don't burn your bridges. More importantly, build strong, healthy bridges.
Yeah.
He also tried to navigate, it was tough, some of the stuff that came out about Jeffrey Tambor during the Transparent days. And Jason Bateman, I give him credit. He might have misspoke, but he was trying to see everybody's perspective and try to make, a connection between everybody. So that can be really hard when people and maybe have a good relationship get kind of out of hand and then end up ruining their own relationship. But he didn't like just burn Jeffrey Tambor. Like he was trying to say like, "Hey, like how do I'll figure it out."
Transparent sounds like a very this day and age movie.
Yeah. Well, that was a TV show on Amazon and yeah.
Oh, so it's recent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Jeffrey Tambor was on it. So anyway, the other three things, and I'll wrap it up. Talked a lot in this segment. I'm worshiping. Why aren't you guys on your knees?
We are not worthy, Jason.
His commitment to being a family man. He's been married for 21 years to the same woman. They have 2 kids. And in his interview, he said early on in his life, he knew he wanted to be a father, a husband, and direct something good in his lifetime. And I can really respect that he put those 2 things first. It can be hard, being in any business and trying to reach a high level in it. But the fact that he prioritized being a family man and also having a career and making a good career, I really respect that. And that's what I would hope for my life and for my friends' lives. And then finally, his deadpan, honest to goodness, oh shucks delivery is just hilarity in a box. And he can come into a scene, small bit, roll in a movie, and just be the highlight of the comedic tone of the film. So, yeah, that's why I like Jason Bateman.
Yeah, you don't need to be all flashy and silly faces and loud noises to be funny. It's, sometimes just that, I'm not stale, but the being the Rock is funnier than being the Waves, I guess.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
A little bit of dad comedy, sometimes you need a good old-fashioned dad comedy.
Yeah.
Well, deadpan delivery is something to respect.
It's an art.
If you can look at somebody and land the punchline without smiling, how often does that turn into the biggest laugh of the scene? A lot.
Many times.
Yeah. And a lot of people make their bank on it. Will Ferrell, even though like a lot of the bloopers, he's laughing. They're trying to get through the lines. But yeah, that's the idea, is like if you can be in the moment, be in the scene, be the character, and believe what you're saying is earnest, but it's actually hilarious, and you don't see it as hilarious and you deliver it deadpan, I think those are the best comedic moments on screen.
Yeah, Ernest was good.
So yeah, that was my recent idol worship. I know that the second season of Ozark is coming out soon. I think this year it's supposed to come out later in the fall. So keep an eye out for that. But other than that, you can go back now, watch Arrested Development. I know that's on Netflix. And I'm going to check out his podcast too, I think. Smartless.
Yeah, Arrested Development was one that I put off for a long time. And my brother's like, you got to watch it. And then just binged all like whatever 6 seasons there were or whatever, like 4. And then it worked out perfectly because when I stopped, like 6 months later, they came with the renewed version, whatever season. Yeah. Like, it was good.
Do you think that's just not to go on a tangent because we're moving on, but do you think that's a lost art form of the straight man trying to figure out how to put everything together and just chaos happening around him? Because that was a really popular genre of comedy sitcoms for a long time, of that one guy who's trying to keep everything together and just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that I guess that was the staple of, through the aughts and into the early teens, and now it's a lot different. I guess I shouldn't say I'm not familiar because I haven't watched a ton of TV, so I don't know what's hot right now. But I just know how it used to be.
To me, it's more about the ensemble now. Like you have shows like Community, The Office, stuff like that, or Parks and Rec, where they do have a lead character, but it's way more about the ensemble and what they're all up to.
Yeah, it's
even like Rick and Morty.
Like you say, it's like the comedy was based around like you're trying so hard to keep your life together, but every little thing falls apart.
Yeah,
it's made hilarious.
Yeah. I think Rick and Morty does it though. Like Morty is always trying to fix the problem that Rick is creating.
And he has his own faults as well, though, being a teenager and
Anyway, I do like that genre of comedy. So, and I think Bateman does it really, really well.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me fanboy a little bit on that.
Of course.
And you know, you never know when Arrested Development's going to fall off of Netflix. So you want to get over there and check it out. And another thing I wanted to mention that is only here for a limited time. You too can have your precious delicacies protected for half the cost. You heard me right. Company is now offering 50% off on precious delicacy protection for Velocity Chaos listeners. That's you guys out there. Actually, you don't even have to listen. You just have to use code VCPOD50 for 50% off precious delicacy protection for your first 3 months of protection. So if you want that extra peace of mind for your precious delicacies, get the absolute best precious delicacy protection with Company. This is not an actual product, service, or idea. Just in case you thought it was, it's not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation and offer no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea.
Bang, bang. Here we are into the deep dive of, I want to talk about psychological, social effects and phenomena. Mainly, the first one I want to talk about is the Mandela Effect.
Ooh.
You guys aware of what the Mandela Effect is?
I think so. Isn't that where you think you saw something, but it didn't actually happen?
In a way, it didn't. It's not
here.
exactly how you remembered it.
Okay.
It stems from people, I guess, Nelson Mandela. People thought he died in the 1980s in prison. Is like it was a common belief that people had, and recently we find out he just died in 2013 of I think it was a prolonged respiratory infection at the age of 95.
Yeah, dude, I remember where I was at when Nelson Mandela died. I was in African studies class in college, and my teacher just stopped talking because she looked at her phone and just stopped, and she goes, "Nelson Mandela just died," and she walked out of the classroom.
And you're like, wait, I thought he died in prison. And that's where it all started. So that's what I wanted to get into mainly, and then if we have more time after, we'll dive into some other of these phenomena and effects. But one quote that I came across is, with memory. So it's the Mandela Effect is people having a false memory of an event. And the quote I found was, "Memory is a complicated thing. Relative to truth, but not its twin," by Barbara Kingslover. So that's saying, we can all have the same memory of this right here, but it's probably not going to be the same or accurate, even within its own right. So let's get into it. We have good housekeeping. 45 Mandela effects. We'll go through a few that I picked out, but we'll give you the link to go to. But so kind of some explanation. So false memories. The concept of false memories provides one potential explanation for the Mandela effect. False memories are untrue or distorted recollections of an event. Some false memories contain elements of fact closely resembling the actual event in question. However, others are entirely false. So that's, just, I feel like my mom does this a lot. Not to throw her under the bus.
Call her up.
Yeah. Just when she's telling a story, it's like, that's not how it happened. But she's a storyteller.
Yeah.
So, and it's mostly true.
She's embellishing on purpose.
She's got the gift of gab.
Yeah. The Mandela Effect always struck me though as like more of a bigger number. For you and your family, when you hear your mom tell a story, it might be 5 people who think, or I was there and didn't exactly happen that way. But the Mandela Effect was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just who didn't know each other assumed it was true. So
yeah, mass quantities. Well, here we'll just hit you with one right off the bat, so you guys can get the idea of what it is if you're unsure of like what we're talking about. So, do you guys remember Jiffy peanut butter? No?
Jiffy.
Jiffy.
Isn't it Jif?
You guys are right. So you guys didn't get affected by this. But a lot of people thought it was Jiffy peanut butter.
So all you morons out there who are eating Jiffy peanut butter, wake up.
But yeah, it's a common one. So that's a lie. There's Skippy peanut butter, and then there's the powerhouse of Jif. So, and then people, I guess, maybe cross-contamination of memories, and they're like, oh yeah, Jiffy. I remember. Get Jiffy.
Jiffy peanut butter.
What are you going to get an oil change, you idiot?
Get the lube. Yeah. So some other explanations. Confabulation. Confabulation is another potential mechanism underlying false memories of the Mandela Effect. Confabulations are false statements or retellings of events that lack relevant evidence or factual support. Although confabulations are technically false statements, the speaker will regard these statements as fact. So I mean, that's where Mom lies in is.
So all of Trump's presidency. Sorry, low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit.
Hey, yo.
So what does that mean? That just people are believing everything that's coming out of their own mouth?
Yeah, it's like to them it's not wrong, and they're not intending to lie.
Oh, well then, yeah, I take back.
So it's like perception. Like you believe everything. You're literally your brain's playing tricks on you at that point.
Possibly, yeah. Like I remember, we were down here. DJ Slapshot was in his blue hoodie. And, it was great. And then, it's black hoodie, but something like that's a little thing, but,
Sure.
something like that. And then all 5 of us were down here. It was cool. And then, like, what?
What? Hold on.
Jimmy wasn't there.
Jimmy was Jimmy, man.
Another one. So we have 2 more of the quote unquote explanations. So priming in psychology, priming describes a phenomenon in which exposure to a stimuli or stimulus directly influences a person's response to a subsequent stimuli. For example, if a person reads or hears the word grass, they will recognize another related word such as tree or lawnmower more quickly than an unrelated word. So it's kind of just associating things from a list. They gave like one thing as far as, and I think this kind of comes up in another one, like a list of like safari things, like scorpion, desert, like whatever. And then lion wasn't on the list, but in the study, they're like, was lion on this list? And like, oh yeah, safari, of course it was.
Yeah.
Like,
But they immediately because it's associated in a group. Yeah. My sister used to do one. She'd always say, like, say most. Everyone says most. Say coast. Everyone says coast. Say boast. Boast. Everyone says boast. Like, what do you put in a toaster?
bread.
There you go. But everyone says toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to think about it.
You should have made us do it. I was about to say toast.
Oh.
So I've been working on this priming thing already. I just keep saying money in conversations. I'm just priming people to give me.
Oh, that's why I gave you $100 earlier.
Yeah. Hey man, do you want to go and get money? I mean dinner. You're laughing. I've gotten the most out of you. No, I'm just kidding. It's true though. I think priming is true. I think it's most applicable in. Thank you.
Oh my God, it works. Whoa.
Wait, what am I doing?
What am I doing?
Luke, come back.
Good Pavlov. Good. It works with emotional priming. If someone, and this is where I think you get. I don't know. I don't want to go down that road, but
This is it. We're deep diving.
Deep diving. I think priming is really important to personal growth. You have to prime yourself for success and also for trying to keep going. Because if you're just there, I notice people who talk negatively about themselves or about their life have a harder time moving through the work to get to the goals that they have. But if you are saying, not ignorantly, I can do it, because it is true. You can do it. It's just going to take a while. So if you are constantly priming yourself with positivity, to sound like a lame little person, like if you're constantly positively priming yourself and saying, I can do it, I will achieve that, I will do the work, then the work isn't as much of a grind. It's more of a temporary stasis until you achieve that goal. So I think priming is really important, even beyond like people getting primed to make mistakes of what they think or what they remembered. So,
Yeah. You change your mind, your outlook on things.
Yeah.
You change your life.
But it is important to also monitor what goes in your brain then.
Yeah.
One of the things I've been doing, we'll talk about them later in the show, about the quotes. And there's a quote that I really liked, but something told me this doesn't make sense for the period that this person lived in. So I went and looked it up, and I couldn't find a reference for it.
Oh,
So you see what I mean? Like, you got to be careful.
yeah.
I'm not saying you should be suspicious of everything, but you have to be careful of how you're priming yourself, or, with truth. So.
Yeah, it's just like Gandalf said in Star Trek, Luke, I am your father. Something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. You were watching all those movies at the same time. Weren't you?
Yeah, just speed read that.
I just thought I'd prime myself.
You better check your hate mail right now.
Yeah.
Brain just exploded.
Got a bunch of Harry Potter fans coming after you.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dumbledore was all like, you shall not pass.
The Stargate.
Yeah. So that kind of brings us to the last kind of explanation. Alternate realities or parallel universes.
Okay.
This one. So the concept of alternate realities originates from the quantum physics and string theory. This theoretical framework explains the universe and the very nature of reality in terms of tiny strings that vibrate in 10 dimensions. So 10-dimensional vibrations. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on. There's other podcasts that we're doing in other dimensions that are happening exactly. But I'm sitting over there and you're over here.
Didn't we talk about that really briefly about the quantum memory stuff with the synapse of the brain? Remember that with toad venom? I think we were talking about.
Yeah.
We were talking about toad venom and how it affects the synapses and how in between that microscopic place, those vibrations, that's where it affects, right? So one reality, something great's happening, we're all partying somewhere, and you just are like, yeah, man, I feel really good right now. You feel euphoric or something because another version of yourself is like having a great time. So I don't believe it. I'm just saying that's the theory of those micro vibrations, I guess. No wonder I just pop boners randomly.
Yeah, right?
Other versions of myself just must be God.
They're just in the other universe, just swagging it all day long.
Oh yeah. Alone.
Yeah. That's that. I believe it.
I believe it.
All right, so let's get into some of these.
To do with the Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
It is. It's totally true.
That's crazy.
No, let's get into some of these other ones. So, how do you spell Looney Tunes?
LOONY.
Why?
EY?
And then tunes.
TUNE.
TOONS.
TOOONS. That was too many O's. No, so it's just tunes, like music tunes. TUNES. It's not in correlation of keeping the same uni and toonies with the double O's. So, got you, intern. Got you good.
You were off by 1 O.
You got primed for that one.
I said 3 O's.
Oh, sorry.
He went for the max number of O's.
Ooh.
Oh, this is perfect. So you know that you're the lovable Jewish bear family, the Berenstein Bears.
I know this one
Yeah.
because it's not like it's like the Bernstein or no,
Berenstein?
no, it's
Tom Berenstein Bear.
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's
Is
not
it
like
not
Steen or
Berenstein
anything.
Bears?
It's like I
It's,
don't know.
yeah,
Give it
it's,
to
it's
me.
not Berenstein. So I guess they
Stein?
weren't actually Jewish. It's Berenstain.
Stain.
So STAIN, not
What?
EIN with an A.
Berenstein Bear.
Got you there. Yeah.
There's
See,
probably
that's just
some like 15-year-old out here has no idea what you're talking about.
Googling it.
Curious George, tail or no tail?
No tail.
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 Yeah, tail. No, no tail.
Oh,
All right, the show Sex in the City. Sex in the City?
sex in it.
And
Sex in it.
Is
It's
it?
in it?
Is it in the city?
no, and the city.
Just made a comeback. What is it? A lot of comebacks.
Sex in the
Sex
city.
and the city.
It's Sex and the City.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
What kind of title is that?
There's sex and there's the city.
I'm gonna write a show. Sex in the City.
Yeah.
So good
Yeah,
about-
it's open.
Flip just with guys.
Yeah.
Nobody will watch that show because that'd be terrible.
How do you spell the breeze part of Febreze?
BREEZE.
That's how I'd say, yeah.
Is it? It's got multiple Z's, doesn't it?
Just one Z.
Really? Okay, then I'm out. I was wrong.
It is no double E, FEBREZE.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Febreze.
Dude, I've
Febreze.
seen it on. Really?
Yeah. Look it up.
That's
Look
And
it
there's
up.
so many of these that I had to double check. Like, no, you guys are lying. You're lying.
I have a feeling you're gonna say one.
Dude,
now.
that's crazy.
Maybe. So my baloney had a first name, Oscar. My baloney had a second name. It's M blank Yer. Oscar Mayer. What's that? How do you spell that?
My
A,
baloney
M-A,
had a first name.
Y-E-R.
Oscar. Baloney had a second name. It's
Meyer.
Myrer.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Mayor,
Is it
Yeah.
M-E or M-A?
It's M.A.
Emmy.
Hey.
It's A. Oscar Mayer.
Score.
It should have been a
I
scoring.
think it's tied right now.
2-2. I heard
2-2.
I don't know if it's fair because I did work at a grocery store for.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
He's guessing wrong to make us feel better
Yeah.
about ourselves.
Fruit Loops.
Oh, no.
It's O-O.
It's fruit with OO, but it's still LOO. It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah,
the
two-
other one.
it's two
So
double
like
O's.
two-
F-R-O-O-T-L-U-I-P-S.
Tie. You got 3-3.
So yeah, that one's because it's not actually fruit, and they'd probably get sued if they said fruit on there. I'd imagine because it's
Yeah, the owner's
It's
just
fruit.
pure
actually
sugar.
been titled Fruit Dua Lupe for like ages. They were just priming us for her success.
yeah.
Is that that's not how you say her name? It's Dua? Is it Dua Lupe?
Dua Lipa.
Do it.
Dua Lipa.
So you're saying it should be like fruit Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
Fruit Dua Lipa.
Whatever it is, it ruins the top of my mouth because
You blaming Captain Crunch now too?
no, just Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little tender.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, got a weak upper grill. All right, describe the Monopoly man's face. There's like key
Mustache.
characteristics: mustache,
Big old stash.
hat.
Top hat.
He's got he doesn't have eyebrows, does
beady
he?
little eyes.
Everybody thinks he's got a monocle, right?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Does
Does
he?
not.
Doesn't. You guys are right.
Doesn't
You guys are
have a
good.
monocle. Wow.
No monocle. Slapshot. Did you think he had a monocle?
Every time he has
Yeah.
a monocle. I
No,
think you're all wrong.
so-
Well, I mean, there was the movie with Ace Ventura when he leans over. He's like, "You look like the Monopoly man."
Yeah. You do not pass go. You look like $100. So maybe that's why, because that guy I think had a monocle. So
Yeah,
maybe,
he had a
that was it. But yeah, so it's said that. So this is one of those, I guess, priming or false memories. I don't know how this would relate, but people are confusing with Mr. Peanut. And
Oh yeah.
Monopoly.
Who does not have a mustache, right?
I don't think so.
No, it's just a monocle and a top hat. And I think he's got a
top
cane.
hat and a cane for a peanut. That's ridiculous. Here, I got a few more, and then if we got time, we'll get into
Mr.
some other
Peanut
things.
has a monocle, but no mustache.
No mustache.
Now he's a baby.
Mustache.
Just a baby. So, Fruit of the Loom. The logo has a cornucopia behind it.
No.
Yes.
Pile of fruit.
No.
It does not. I thought it did too. That's the one that really made me double
Sure that
check.
wasn't like an old school one? Like
No,
the
I
original idea was-
went back and I was like, did
You
Fruit
had
of
to-
the
you
Loom
had-
ever have
You had to think of
cornucopia?
the commercials. You remember everybody dressed up as the fruit?
Yeah.
There's no,
Oh yeah.
No cornucopia.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if there was.
We got to start our own with the Fruit of the Loom. And be like, yeah, there was totally like a carrot in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, remember the carrot guy? You know?
Yeah.
it's the eggplant.
That was the one that made me have to double check all these. Like,
we
nah,
should
they're
just turn.
messing with
We should just turn into a marketing consulting firm and just
Yeah.
be like, hey, you have a new line of underwear coming out. Okay, picture this: cornucopia and a bunch of fruit. Isn't that already taken? We don't want to infringe. No cornucopia. Changing the form, it's completely fine.
Fruit of the copia.
Fruit of the copia.
Yeah, throw a kiwi in there.
Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah, done.
All right.
It's all tropical fruits: pineapple, kiwi.
Your favorite Stone Age family from Bedrock? What was their name?
The
Flintstones.
What was that? Enunciate.
Flintstones.
Flint stones.
The
Oh.
Flintstones.
Flint.
The Flint.
Flintstones.
No, you already said Flintstones. It's Flintstones, like
Really?
Flint Rock.
Give me another one of those.
'Cause, you know,
Yeah, I'll go-
Give me a
get
hat.
it.
Yeah.
Give me a hat.
'cause,
Give
I
me
mean,
a
what's a Flynn? Yeah, nothing. I seriously tried to find out. what
Huckleberry
meant.
Flynn.
Huckleberry Flynn. That's right. That's his name. That's how I remember it.
Yep. We're priming out there. We're priming our list.
What color is chartreuse? I think
Purple.
would know this.
Green.
I want to say green, or like
What?
like a mint, like a
You
minty green.
You're allowed to say it.
So it's common for people to think that it's green. It's 50. Actually, it's actually 50% green, 50% yellow, and a lot of
I was
people
way
think
up there.
that it's like a pink or purple color.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
a misconception. So it's halfway between green and yellow.
I only know this because I had a buddy who drank chartreuse on a regular basis. It's the most terrible liquor in the world. But
Ever. All right, 2 more.
chalking that one up as a win.
Oh wait, no, that might have been it. Yeah, we'll have the list in the show notes that we were pulling from, and then how much time we got here?
You didn't say the one I wanted.
Oh, which one?
Oh, he's got one. The intern. Look at coming out of left field.
When Oreo stuff?
Yeah.
Is it 2 Fs or 1 F?
Oh, I know. Let them guess.
It's 3.
2.
It's 1.
It's 1. It's UF.
That'll be in
like that's
that
not
list.
Wait, are we doing more Mandela Effect?
So
Yeah,
double
we're done
stuff?
with Mandela
Can,
Effect.
come
So
on,
is it
can I throw
double
one out
stuff?
there?
Yeah. What's
STUF.
Slapshot got?
You guys remember that movie?
Oh, wow.
That movie in the '90s with Sinbad, where he's a genie. It's called Shazam.
Yeah, I swear I saw it. I promise. I'll put all the money in the world. I know I saw it, but I know it's not real.
You've seen Shazam, right? You remember that? Like
Yeah.
Sinbad plays like a genie. He's like a young genie. It's one of those like comedy movies. He like meets up with a kid. It's not even real.
It's not real.
Look at it. No,
Shaq.
look, his light bulb is like flickering right now. He's like, I
Going
swear
out.
I saw it.
What?
Hey, Kazam with Shaq.
Kazam.
Yeah, dude. It was because everyone thought there was a movie with Sinbad. Like I was one of these people. Like I was like, yeah, dude, Sinbad did a rip. I was like, it was like a rip off of Kazam, and they're like, no, Shazam never existed. Shaq did a movie called Kazam where he was a genie to a kid. But like, there's thousands and thousands of people on the internet who believe. That
Yeah, I could just
Sinbad
picture him
had
in a
one.
genie. Maybe it was like a sketch or something, but he did Disney's First Kid or whatever.
Let's make that movie.
Yeah, let's make it. So
Let's-
then make it true.
Make that movie with Sinbad. People want it. Thousands of people want it.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of other effects, but I mean, we kind of handled the Mandela Effect for the most of that period. I'll give you guys one other effect just to wet your whistle and just dip the tongue into it. So the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. So it's also known as frequency illusion. It's a cognitive bias that people get after noticing something for the first time. There's a tendency to notice it more often, leading some to believe that it has a higher frequency of occurrence.
I know what this is. A perfect example. When you start looking for a car
Mhm.
and you know which one you want, they're everywhere.
Everyone's got that
Exactly.
car.
That's like
Forerunners all day.
Yeah, Forerunners.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. When I got my car, like I didn't see any of that car ever, and then I started driving. It's like, oh hey, here you got one. It's not
You
even a
wave to
common
them
car.
like they want to be in your club, and they
Yeah.
just keep driving. Don't look, make eye contact.
Weirdo.
Wow, I just wanted to be in your Subaru club.
It didn't happen with my Lancer though. No, it was very rare. I'd see somebody and I'd give them hey, what's up?
I know
Driving a
you-
Lancer.
I know your pain.
So yeah, and that kind of like leads me to think of advertisements on like computers and stuff.
Oh god.
Like I was just talking to you about it. Like I was like, oh, maybe I'll try one of those coding programs where you like for 15 weeks
Yeah.
and get into that. And now for the last week, I'm only getting coding boot camp, tech elevator, like join us here. Like that's the only ads I've been seeing for the last week, and it's like. That's not Bader-Meinhof. That's the cookies.
That's Zuckerberg's listening to you.
Yeah, that's the damn cookies.
Did you search it or did you just?
I probably did. Yeah.
Okay. I hope for all our sakes
Yeah.
you searched
just
it.
talking about it.
Talk about it.
That's freaking
Bling,
crazy.
bling, 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 bling. Just on your screen, it starts popping.
Where's all the iPhones? Hide the iPhones right now.
Yeah, shut them off. Mute them. Can we mute them?
Put,
So let's
put
talk
aluminum
about
over them.
Play a low hum. But that's I feel like we deeply dove into the Mandela Effect of some pop culture things. I
We
thought that
did
was some good stuff.
in honor of Mandela.
Yeah,
Nice.
because he died this week. Of no, that's just to make my wife mad. 2013.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, I do that easily. I can make her mad. So
I'm a pro.
yeah, that gets me onto my next point. The stuff. The stuff has all the goods in it. That's right. It's got the goods, which means it has vitamins, minerals, natural essences, unnatural flavors. It's got it all. The stuff has been safely tested on humans, animals, and probably even some aliens. The stuff is tried and true. When I'm feeling angry, tired, melancholy. The stuff picks me right up, sends me on my way feeling better than ever. Wait a second. Those are probably withdrawals. Anywho, get 30% off your shipment of the stuff using code VCPOD30 at checkout. This is not an actual product, service, or idea. Just in case you thought it was, it's not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation, offer no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea.
All right, man. You ready for a quote that I didn't say?
Maybe.
No.
All right. That's it for our show today. It's time for the segment called Don't Quote Me on This, where we just break down a quote from history from days past. I have two for you. This guy said a lot of things, some of them pretty intense. We won't talk about those as much, but some that I think are pretty interesting principles that appeal to me. The guy we're talking about is President Theodor Roosevelt.
Theodore J. Roosevelt.
Priming. I'm going to just say that every time I hear you say something that's sketchy or skeptical.
Oh, Junior. Never mind.
yeah. There you go.
J's at the end.
The J's on the other side. So the first quote we're going to talk about is one not as well known as some of his other ones. And I'm gonna read it to you, and then I just love to get your reaction to it. He was the mayor of New York City when he wrote this. It was April 10th, 1999, in a Chicago speech. The speech was called the Strenuous Life Speech. And here we go. So he said, "Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows no victory nor defeat."
Is this the one you had to double check on, that it never existed?
This is the one that I confirmed actually existed. You can see the link to the National Archives where they have a snapshot of the letter. So
It was never a speech.
you can go look it up.
Nice. Well, good on you for doing the research.
Hey, if I'm going to quote
verifying.
somebody live on the air,
Yeah,
it better be really them saying it.
better be. Dang, that's a lot to digest right there. I got to go through it again.
It's really cool. He was talking about he was in Chicago, so he was out of his home kind of area, and I think he was talking to firemen and people of the city who kind of were working to build Chicago bigger. And this is at the turn of the century, so there was a lot of growth in America, and this quote was very much geared towards the philosophy in America at the time of innovation and building industry and really going for it. What do you want to break down?
Yeah, so I mean, this is just that the Office quote. Basically, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Quote Wayne Gretzky. Quote Michael Scott.
End quotes.
End quotes.
End quotes.
Don't be messing with the great one, man.
Yeah, that's far better to dare mighty things. So just get out and do it is what TR's saying. That's what they called him.
Yeah.
Or Teddy. Teddy, going way back 1899, Teddy was like, "Hey, just get out and do something. Do something. Don't do nothing."
I don't care if it's banging sticks together. If you bang sticks together every single day, then you will avoid the gray twilight.
That's right.
That's the part that I thought was very evocative to me, the gray twilight, that middle ground of where you don't really stand for anything, you don't risk anything, and you become kind of a faded ghost of a person.
Oh, that's where I love living.
Really?
Just right there in the twilight.
right down the middle.
No, it's probably not a good thing, though.
You're a werewolf kind of guy that's
Yeah.
like sitting right there in the twilight between nighttime and daytime.
Yeah, but couldn't the twilight be like that quiet, that one time that it's like really just like peaceful, like it's neither here nor there, it just is.
Yeah, you have less responsibility.
But that's what he's saying.
I think that would be out of context for the quote. I get what you're saying about having peace and rest. And he was a warrior, like a guy who like really cared about discipline, and he knew that to replenish your strength, you had to do that. But I think he's talking about that mental place of where you don't have any principles.
Yeah, being complacent. Like,
Yeah.
don't.
But
be
once you're out of high
always-
school, no more principles.
So high school kids are out. Teenagers, this isn't for
It
you.
doesn't. Yeah.
This doesn't apply.
Once you're out of high school, then dare to dream mighty things.
Or this is only for high schools because they have principals. This is
Oh,
only for
yes.
them. So, I get what you're saying. I think it's about don't waste your life not standing for anything. I don't think he's saying you have to always be fighting, but you can't spend your whole life chilling.
Yeah.
Well, I meant more or less being in the present, just being in that like moment where you're not necessarily prepping or
Yeah.
doing. You're just like in that moment where you're just present, and that's that like I don't know. I guess it came off more of like that quiet or more reflective, but
Yeah, I think that could still fall under. He's saying here, to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs. I mean, that doesn't have to be something loud and crazy. It could just be taking control of your mental health, which could be really refined and really a quiet moment, a very personal, intimate moment. But that would, that's a glorious triumph to improve your mental well-being or feel more at peace, to be able to create peace in your life. I think that would be considered a triumph as well.
You said he's talking to a bunch of police and firefighters.
Yeah, like firemen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was talking in literal sense. He's like, get in that burning building right now. Don't be the guy that's just like, I'll turn on the water. He's talking about, he's like, get in that building.
Yeah, he's talking to the guys that when you go to like a picnic together, and he's talking to the guys like, I'll just bring the cups. Don't be that guy.
Be triumphant.
I'll just bring the chips.
Bring a keg. So yeah, that was one that I really like. And then the other one, he was writing to a colleague named Henry L. Sprague, January 26, 1900. It was the next day. And, the next year.
This guy's just writing the quotes out.
Yeah. He wrote, I have always been fond of the West African proverb, speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far.
Yeah. Why would you want to tell people you got a big stick when you're coming? Because you're quiet and you're easy to sneak up, because with a big stick, they're going to see you. But if you're quiet with it,
That's why I'm saying speak softly. You are
softly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's an old hunting proverb. Speak softly because you don't want to alarm the animals, and carry a big stick so you don't have to get as close. It's great.
Yeah. So that one was based more off of his like foreign policy at the time, because they had just been elected to the presidency, and he was like writing to his buddy, at this point he had just gotten a guy who was really corrupt out of office. And so, yeah, it was kind of cool that he's essentially saying, speak softly, be a man of principle, but also be ready and willing to act.
Yeah. You don't have to be brazen about what you're doing. Have the ability and the capability, and you can know that you have those skills.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go flaunting it. Basically, is what it is. Stop showboating.
Well, the speak softly, like he's not saying don't speak. He's just saying speak softly. So go about what you're doing and do it with humility, but do it confidently and know that you don't need that ego stroked. You can go about your life and have that.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard that quote? It's like they talk about the loudest person in the room is often the most foolish. It's something like that. It's Yeah, everyone knows that kid is like, you walk in and you're like talking about a job. It's like, all right, this organ. He's like, I don't fucking like that idea. Like, all right, how about you lead us in a battle there, Chief? Yeah. Sit down.
No, I get what you're saying. He liked other quotes, something about another international. He got it from either South America or Africa, but he's like, it was a proverb that just said, the closed mouth rarely catches a fly. And I was an often closed mouth rarely catches a fly. And I was like, wow, like that could be convicting. Sometimes you got to just be a listener. And
is it saying your breath smells like shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep that trap shut.
Literally.
Flies in here.
Yeah, Tic Tac, bro. That's what that means.
That's a commercial for Tic Tac. How is Tic Tac spelled, huh? Mandela Effect? No, that's pretty easy.
But he I'm gonna pull it up really quick. He had like 5 principles backing this up, and one of them was you need to have enough power. In this case, it was military power, but you need to have enough power to keep your adversary paying attention to you. So you need to be able to draw attention either through, your skill set, your ability to do something. For some people, it's just your physical, the way you carry yourself. And then the other qualities were act justly towards others, never bluff, strike only when prepared to strike hard, and have the willingness to allow your adversary to save face in defeat. So, I mean, it's cool. It encapsulates a lot more and kind of became his slogan.
Respect and honor.
Yeah, a lot of people know him for all that stuff. But he had these principles behind it, which helped kind of make it more than just a funny saying.
And that's Grandpa from Three Ninjas. His rules were rule number 1, never attack unless you're sure you're going to win. And rule number 2, don't climb a tree that's full of thorns.
Both honest and true.
Definitely done that once or twice.
Yeah. So that's it. Thanks for going through that with me. I really like those. I'm probably going to get those tattooed on my arm. But no, the whole letter to his buddy Henry Sprague.
Well, there's like 6 pages of this, man.
Yeah,
sure.
That made you think, though. I'm gonna have to listen back to this episode and actually try to digest it a little bit more. It's a lot.
Well, you were here the last time we did Don't Quote Me on This.
Yeah.
We had the Zig Ziglar quotes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was really.
Those
good.
were great too.
Yeah.
But if I can, for all those out there, wherever you're at in life, what we would like to say, or I would like to say, because I don't want to loop all these guys in if I say something stupid, is wherever you're at in your life, pick a goal and chase after it. Sometimes you got to risk a little bit, be careful, but to feel the potential that you have, you're going to have to make some choices and you're going to have to get out there and chase it down. So, we're hopeful for you. We want to support you. So if you want to reach out to Velocity Chaos and just say hello and tell us what you're up to, we'd love to hear about it because people out there care about your goals and your dreams. So we want you living in the sun and not in the gray twilight with Luke.
That's right.
Don't be a hero, mate. You look after your mates and your mates will always look after you. Yeah, cheers.
So we're getting into our favorite section of the show. We always say that, and I don't think we ever mean it.
I love it.
We do love it, but is it our favorite every time?
Yes.
I don't know, because
Yes.
we have a lot of good segments. So, okay, I'm outvoted. This is our favorite segment on the Velocity Chaos podcast. This is Aussie News, where we go traveling down under to check in with our brothers and sisters in the great island nation. We are... I have a great one today, man. Last one was fun. This one is just kind of heartwarming. It really filled me up, filled up my heart. So this has been a sentimental episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're getting all sentimental.
But this one's funny. So the headline is "Case of Kidnapped Mailbox Cow Solved After Bush Community Takes to Social Media." So they took a real cow, they gutted it, and turned it into a mailbox. No, I'm just kidding. It's made out of metal. It's made out of metal. The thing is, it's so sad. They went the mom went out to. She was pulling in home, and she pulled in, and she just was kind of like, something's wrong. Something's not here, and their very large mailbox was just missing. And they essentially put out an APB. And what's really nice is people in the community who also love this mailbox, and apparently it's kind of like a gathering place. Like the father of the family built it with his 2 sons. All their names are inscribed on the bottom. It was the first thing they did when they moved to this. It's a bush town, so it's very out there. It's cattle country, really. And they essentially built it homemade. And they would have people over and have beers around Bessie. So it was just a gathering spot for this community. And so she put it out there that she was gone. Bessie was gone. And everyone just was like, not on our watch. And this entire community just started posting on social media, and people were saying, putting in like timestamps of when they had last seen it. And somebody said, I saw it on a ute. That's a truck. We were talking about that the other day, DJ Slapshot. And so they saw it on a ute, like a flatbed ute, just like hauling out of town. And they were timestamping it. They found Bessie 700 kilometers away, which is way more than 7 feet.
That's
doing
a long
the-
way
doing the
away.
exchange.
That's a very long way.
Doing the conversion. 700 kilometers away, they found her, tipped over into the side of the road, into a ditch.
So they went cow tipping.
Totally disrespectful of good old Bessie. And the funny thing was, you can look at the map. You can look at the map. There was like 5 towns involved in this that were posting about when they last saw the truck drive through.
Well, 700 kilometers, that's more than 5 towns away,
Yeah.
right?
It's like almost to the coast of Australia. And
Bessie went on vacation. Man.
Bessie went on vacation. The funniest part of this was the police precinct got involved, and the 2 squads were arguing. Internal squads were arguing over it. There's a squad that's specifically for stock and cattle, and there's a squad that's specifically for property. And they were like bickering over who was going to break the case and like whose case it was.
This is out of your jurisdiction.
This is clearly a cow department issue.
The bovine.
Do you see an udder on this thing? No, this is clearly property, man. Oh my God. Exactly. Good news is everyone worked together. They brought Bessie home, and now Pops is cementing her to the ground. So there will be no more Bessie road trips into the future.
Oh man!
Wow.
So that was a fun one. Made me feel really good, and just shows what a community can do.
I was gonna say, you lose a mailbox in Cleveland, like, cool, get a new one.
Could you imagine the guy in that truck who's just
saw it.
who's just calling? He gets a call from his brother, Jared. Jared's like, "Hey man, I saw these posts. It kind of looks like your truck out there. People are pretty mad." And you're like, "What do you mean?" And you're like driving, you're scrolling through Facebook, seeing all these people coming after you with pitchforks, and oh shit, you stop your car, get out and tip over the thing and just drive out.
Get rid of it. Drop it. Drop it.
Hey bro, what are you in for? Oh, murder. What are you in for? Stole a cow.
I want to know why they decided to steal it. Though. Like
they were gonna
what in their
scrap it.
A bunch
mind?
of college kids or high school kids, maybe.
Now this ute has
Flatbread.
blacked out windows. This is
a
ominous.
serious
Crime
serious
ute.
business.
This is a crime ute.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy just ditch the cargo. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a definite pitchfork and torch
Oh yeah.
occasion.
If had they found that guy,
Tarred and feathered, drawn and quartered.
they would have had steaks on Bobby,
Yeah.
but not the cow kind. The ute kind.
I mean, that just takes you back. Like in life, you have to be, family man first, and that's the most important thing when you're out there getting arrested, and for all the things that you're doing, you got to be accountable. Make the choices out in the world to do what you want to do. Set yourself up to have a chance, because when you just sit back and don't do anything, you're going to regret it for the rest of today, at least. Maybe you won't regret it for today, but you're definitely going to regret it tomorrow. And if you don't regret it tomorrow, in 10 years, you're going to be like, man, that one day I wish I just sat down and listened to the Velocity Chaos podcast with my buddies. But now you're here. You're stealing cows, tipping them over into the ravine on the side of the road. Everyone's coming at you with pitchforks. And that's the way you're going to tell the story, but that's not how everyone else remembers it. Everyone's going to be like, no, that guy was an asshole, straight through and through, stealing cows. All we did was go on social media. That's the power of social, and that's the power of media. Everyone comes together. That's what social media was made for, is moments like that. All right, let's head into the recommendation station. We got our intern wanted to give us a recommendation.
Yeah, so if you're around the Cleveland area and you want some good soup dumplings, go to LJ Shanghai. I just learned today that Nick has never had their soup dumplings, so I know where we're going at like right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
What is a soup dumpling? Can you explain that to everybody?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm no culinary expert, but you know, it's a dumpling that has a kind of a pork broth and I don't know, yeah, like a pork meatball in it, and it's excellent. You get like an order. Every order has like 5 of them in there, so you could just crush like 5 or 6 orders at a time. And then usually it come with like little chili paste sauce, dipping sauce.
Just lather that on there. So you don't like the dumplings, you like the chili paste sauce. That's what you're saying.
Well, that comes later in the day. So,
Can I have the chili paste sauce and a side of dumplings, please?
Yeah.
but they have tons of other good stuff too. So,
That sounds absolutely amazing and something I would like to experience. So I am looking forward to that. Thank you for joining us for our 44th episode of the Velocity Chaos podcast. It's been fun. It's been a little introspective today. We really got into the brain today.
Oh, yeah.
With the Mandela Effect, with our favorite actors and how they deliver things deadpanly, how we talked about quotes and Teddy J. Roosevelt. So I just want to thank our DJ Slapshot for being tried and true and always being here for us.
Thanks for having me out, guys, and thanks to Zach for coming out and interning and DJ'd with us today.
hey.
Thanks very much. Always love to see you when you're here. Thanks all to you out there. Hope to see you on the next episode of Velocity Chaos. This is Nick signing off.
And this is Luke signing off us out here in the world. Remember to check out Zach at Instagram at ZACPLPIK. And then, like we always say, you gotta do something in life and make sure you take it, but don't you dare take the cow. Never take the cow. Thank you for tuning in to the Velocity Chaos Podcast. We upload new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Interact with us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod or on Facebook and YouTube at Velocity Chaos Podcast. We are grateful for your time and hope you enjoyed it here. Please tell a friend, and thank you once again.